What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my movie channel. My name is Tom. Thank you very much for joining me for this, my quick review of the brand new film, Love, Simon. Love, Simon stars Nick Robinson as a character called Simon, who is a gay character, and this is basically his coming out story. It's also kind of a coming of age movie as well, and you know what? This movie is pretty damn good. I was very, very excited to see this film because of all the hype that's been surrounding it. You know, it's this small little film that came out of nowhere and it's getting a lot of buzz and a lot of people are really enjoying it, and for good reason. This film is heartwarming, it's charming, it's dramatic at certain points, but I'm going to get into some of the things that I liked and didn't like about the movie. First of all, the chemistry between the main group of friends, Simon and his three friends, Abby, Nick, and Leah. They've all been friends for a long time going through college, and their chemistry together is one of the main reasons I think this film works. Something that I really enjoyed about this film, and also what I really enjoyed about films like Edge of 17 and Wonder, in the same way I related to those films, you know, even though Edge of 17 is about a teenage girl going through high school, I could still relate to it, even though I'm clearly not a teenage girl. And Wonder, I could still relate to some of the struggles that Augie Pullman was going through in that film, even though I'm not a young child with facial deformities, even though, again, some of my friends will argue that I do. But with Love, Simon, you know, even though I'm not gay, those struggles, some of the struggles that Simon faces throughout the film are very, very relatable, and you do feel for him at certain points when certain challenges arise or certain people do certain things or put him in certain positions. You do feel for that character and you do relate to him on a certain level, and I certainly did as well. I have two favourite scenes from this film that really I walked away with, and those two scenes both involve Simon. One scene involves Simon and his friend Abby. It was a really emotional, driven scene, but it was also a really powerful scene and a really sweet, charming moment between two friends. And the scene really just sort of hit me. It just hit me. And then there's also another scene towards the end of the film between Simon and his dad, where his dad is actually breaks down. And that's a really, really powerful moment as well in the film that actually made me... I felt, you know, like if the scene had gone on any longer, I was going to start to tear up, but I didn't, so we're all good. As for negatives, as I said, this film overall is very, very enjoyable. It's very heartwarming, it's very charming, it's romantic, it's quite uplifting, and it's a very powerful movie. But this film isn't perfect, and I'm going to get into some of those things. And these are relatively minor nitpicks, but there are still blemishes on the film. One thing that I did want more of in the film is seeing more of the relationship between Simon and his family, because he says it throughout the film, you know, he's a really good family, he has quite a good home life. I do understand that the film wasn't focused around his relationship with his family, but at certain points, to understand certain things a bit better, to get more involved in, you know, his life, because the film is about his life, I wanted to know more about him and the relationship with his family, rather than just at certain points they sort of just tell you things rather than showing you, and it felt a little bit more exposition-y. And that leads me into my other negative with the film, is that the film at certain points does feel clunky, because the placement of certain scenes interrupted the story flow of the film. Not to say that the film was edited badly, I think it was more of a direction issue on the director's part, rather than, and maybe even a script issue. I just felt like at certain points the film got a little bit clunky and the dialogue got a bit exposition heavy, and they just sort of told you what was going on even though you'd already seen what was happening. They just sort of felt the need to explain certain things really, really obviously. But anyway, guys, look, overall I quite enjoyed Love, Simon. It is a wonderfully uplifting, charming, quite an emotional film, but you don't leave feeling depressed, even though there are some moments, quite heavy moments in the film, but you don't leave feeling depressed. You leave actually feeling pretty good. It's a nice little enjoyable film. I would recommend going to see Love, Simon when you get the chance. Go and check it out. The film is actually pretty good. So thank you very much for watching. Remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I have a review of Blockers coming out soon, starring John Cena. That movie looks hilarious and I can't wait to go and see it. And look out for that review, and I will talk to you guys next time.